Thank you, Chairman. Mr. French, in your testimony, you said that recreation on National Forest System land sustains more private sector jobs than any other Forest Service program and provides the single largest economic stimulus for many local communities adjacent to or within National Forest lands. I want to ask you to dig in a little deeper in that and give us a sense of scale. So there are a number of economic activities on Forest Service lands. We've got the timber program, the grazing program. How do these things stack up against each other? What portion of the economic activity that occurs on forest lands today is a result of the outdoor recreation economy? And how does it compare to other sectors?
It dwarfs other sectors. Here's what I'll do is I can give to you, Senator, and for the whole committee, the breakdown we do every year on those financial impacts. We also, getting to Senator Manchin's earlier question, look at that every 5 years on every single national forest and what they produce. But by far, when you look at it as a comparison, the outdoor recreation and associated views is the largest single driver. And I don't have that percentage at my hand, but it dwarfs almost everything else.
So I'm not surprised by that, having worked in the sector myself. But what I've always struggled with is the experience, that at least that I had, and hopefully it's changing, that the Forest Service, and I'll just ask you the question, I guess, is does the Forest Service prioritize outdoor recreation and its economic impacts commensurate with the scale of the contribution to local economies?
I think, so I'm going to give you a straightforward answer on that. Yes, I think our intent and our internal prioritization of where we want to be to do that is very different from the resources we have to deliver it. And so we've done it through a lot of efficiencies, but I would say that our staffing is...
Let me ask you this then. Do you have the same expectation for cost recovery from those other programs that, you know, look at the grazing program. Does the grazing program actually cover the cost of rangeland management for the Forest Service? Do you apply the same standard of cost recovery to all those programs that you're asking for outdoor recreation, which is actually creating by far the largest amount of economic activity in those communities?
So, Senator, the answer there is that those fees that we charge for those various other programs, they are bounded by statute, and so they're not.
So the answer would also be no.
Yeah, the answer is no.
Okay.
If you look at, but that's not really within the discretion of the agency.
No, I understand that, but my point is we are not operating on a level playing field. So you're asking much more because you have the flexibility to do so. You're asking much more of outdoor recreation in terms of cost recovery than you are of any of the other programs. So
in some areas.
I want to ask Ms. Turner, talk to me a little bit about permit reform. Why is this so important? Why is fixing permitting such a high priority for companies across the spectrum of this economic sector?
About a decade, so I appreciate all of your work on this too and your team's work. Right now, guides and outfitters, thousands of them across the country, really are sometimes the first entry point for people to get outside. Not only are they creating those experiences, they're creating safe experiences, they're teaching the public how to get out responsibly, they're creating memorable experiences. They're also the partners with these agencies on the ground every day on the lands and waters, understanding what's happening there. And permit reform helps streamline the process to, eliminate burdens on both the private sector and the public sector. It helps with indemnification. I'm not sure if this is a widely known issue, but right now you can go to a university, state university, and study forestry, and you can't actually get out on the forest legally through permitting unless we get this indemnification.
Because we require indemnification requirements that are actually prohibited by state law.
Correct.
Yeah.
It will create additional capacity. There's more users than ever, and they're more diverse and they're younger. And a lot of groups want to get out with, new affinity groups that just don't have, staff dedicated to creating a permit. And so we need to make it easier for everyone to access those. And I'd say, last but not least, we are seeing this evolving consumer where one day, you might be a kayak company and the next day you realize you need to have stand-up paddle boards. And you need to go through an entirely new permit process just to add stand-up paddleboards to your kayak fleet. I mean, that is a very, very, I think, outdated system, and it's not keeping up with the businesses that need it. It's not keeping up, I think, with what the agencies need to do their jobs as well.
Thank you.